Hi, this is Kate Magic, and you're listening to the Raw Living podcast. Raw Living is Europe's leading raw foods and superfood supplier, and I founded the company back in 2002. In this interview series, I'm talking to some of the people behind the brands that we offer on our shop to find out what exactly is the ethos behind the company. Not just the ingredients that they use and the processes that they use to create the end results, but I'm asking them other questions like how do they show respect for the environment? How do they treat their workers and their relationship to the farmers who grow the crops? All the companies that we work with are putting huge amounts of dedication and commitment into creating products that are benefiting not just you, but also the whole ecosystem, the planet, the people. And with this series, I'm hoping to show insights into that. When you're shopping with these companies, you're really not just investing in your health, you're truly investing in a better world for us all. Today I'm talking with Nikki Bostwick of the Fullest. She creates these amazing saffron products and she'll be telling us all about the benefits of saffron. Hi Nikki.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Kate.
I'm really excited to connect with you and to learn more about your product range. We don't have any saffron products on the website. We have so many different superfoods, but saffron is one that people maybe aren't familiar with for its like medicinal benefits. So I'm really curious to learn more. So maybe you want to start by telling us how you became involved in the first place, how you came to be working with saffron.
Yes. So, yeah, you're right. Saffron is a newer superfood in the current wellness space, even though it's been around for centuries. The benefits there's so many benefits, but just people, I guess, haven't been aware of it, except for people that are more, have just experience with traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda and Iranian medicine. So my background is that I'm a first generation Iranian American, and both of my parents came to the United States, and they immigrated here in their 20s. So I had the opportunity to grow up here, but with so much knowledge of our culture because my entire family immigrated here little by little. And I didn't even realize like I was in a different place. Like I grew up speaking Farsi as my first language and being surrounded by family, so much family, all my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. So I was just really involved in my culture, and my mom was really passionate because her father was really high up in the regime when the Shah was in power and before the Iranian Revolution. So he ended up, his life was taken during the Iranian Revolution. He was executed. He had the option of leaving when the Iranian Revolution was happening, but he chose to stay, and he stood up, and decided he's going to stay and fight for his country. And if they're going to kill him, that's part of the story. My mom was like obsessed with saffron. Okay. So like, I think it helped her through. I mean, she was 12 years old when her father was executed. So she would consume so much saffron in her cooking and stuff, but like normally when you're cooking with saffron, you're not getting therapeutic doses of it. My mom just like happened to use a lot in her cooking, and I grew up like that. And even with her, she would keep like a vial of saffron in the fridge, and I would go and find the vial of saffron that was made with like hot water and ground saffron, just so it was like ready to go when she would cook, and I would like drink the whole thing. And she'd say, "Oh my gosh, you cannot drink that. You're gonna have a laughing attack." And so I grew up understanding that this made people laugh and giggle and happy, and I associate saffron with happiness. And the reason she cooked so much with it was because my grandfather's mom was heavily dosing stuff in it. So it was like she was like the original saffron queen that turned into like my mom being the saffron lady, and now it like the baton was passed to me. But um I really feel, just going back to that question of my grandfather, I really feel that he has guided me. And then later on, when my dad's I grew up with my dad's parents, and they've since passed away, but it's almost like every time a grandparent passes, I get this like superpower, and I feel very connected to my ancestors. I feel very guided by them through my work. And every time I feel like, is this right for me or is this not? It's like it feels like it's just so authentic that it's coming through me via them and my lineage, and I'm meant to be sharing this. That's how I feel. And so every time there's this, the stress of just having a business and things going wrong and whatever, it's like I go back to this is my mission, is to share this medicine with people. And I've had the opportunity to do so because the Fullest started specifically as a content platform. And like we would share about, I have my podcast, we would share a lot of wellness articles, and it was more, and because you're so like-minded, and this, like over a decade ago, it was a lot of talk around weight loss and everything. It was like everything in American media around wellness was really centered around weight loss. And even, when we talk about the gut, it still is like it's all about losing weight. And I felt like no one was talking about how every aspect of your life has an impact on your health, and it really comes down to your emotional well-being, because you could be working out all the time and doing all the right things, but if energetically it's because you're fearful of weight gain, or you're fearful of getting sick, or whatever it is that's causing you to be so extreme about things, it's still going to have like a negative impact. And so I realized through my work that wellness, to me, the foundation of wellness is your emotional well-being. And then when I tied that with my knowledge around saffron and how saffron has been shown in double-blind placebo studies to be just as effective as fluoxetine, which is the generic form of Prozac. I mean, it's incredible to be able to really figure out the actual dosage where this spice can make a real impact on people and potentially replace pharmaceuticals. So anyways, my grandfather and grandparents speak to me through signs, and I feel like everything from the decision to create this product line to the name of my business, everything has always come to me in the form of a sign. I ask and I somehow receive something that helps me move forward with the decision that feels very aligned. And so when I had a pop-up with the Fullest, and it was always other people's products that I had personally vetted and was interested in seeing what people gravitated towards. And this idea of a latte or turmeric latte and adaptogenic lattes kept coming up. And I'd gone to Matthew Kinney Culinary and studied raw foods and just plant-based nutrition and learned how to formulate. So I kind of took my knowledge and realized no one's talking about saffron. This is something that I can really speak to. I studied then went on to study the medicinal benefits of it through my own research, and found that there was a therapeutic dosage that I wasn't aware about before through my own experience with it. It was just something that was in our cooking. But I found out that 30 milligrams of saffron has been shown to be just as effective as fluoxetine. It's been shown to be just as effective as methylphenidate, which is the generic form of Ritalin. It's been shown to be effective as statins. to help people with reducing their
Wow. Sure.
the potential of a
Cholesterol.
cardiac event. I mean, it goes on and on. The comparison of saffron with a pharmaceutical counterpart. I mean, there are so many different studies out there that can prove it. But for me specifically, I love focusing on mental health. And so the mental health benefits, I think, are really incredible, and most people can use them these days. And then inflammation. So saffron is like turmeric on steroids, and you just need like 30 milligrams. Whereas, like with turmeric, you need around 400. So
Mhm.
400 milligrams. So with our Kinder Thoughts capsules, we have both. We have curcumin, which is derived from turmeric. That has turmeric and a saffron extract, both in medicinal and therapeutic doses. And we don't use black pepper in the capsules. We use MCT powder. So we use a fat to activate both the saffron and turmeric.
Uh-huh.
So with the curcumin, you either need the fat or the black pepper to make it more bioavailable. And then with the latte, we don't use turmeric in there. We love to highlight the floral and soft notes of saffron with cardamom. So it's a saffron cardamom beverage. It has 150 milligrams of saffron, not
Wow.
just the 30 milligrams. And the reason we did this is because of a few reasons. When you want to make a beverage, obviously from the culinary aspect, I wanted it to be very powerful, and I wanted people to be able to really taste the saffron, which with a smaller dose, you can't really taste it as much when you're mixing it with like milk.
Mm.
Another reason was because it's a traditional Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine dosage. So when you're using saffron, they tend to have people take it at around the 150 milligram dose. It's more of like an ancient dosage, that's very potent. It's also in its raw form. So the other one is an extract that has been used and studied, and there are 10 different studies on Affron, which is this extract of saffron that is used in the capsules. But because this is saffron in its raw form, where they just take the strands and we grind them, we use more. And I think it still turns out to be more potent than the other one, but some people feel more comfortable taking an extract that has had a bunch of studies done on it already, like clinical studies. The Both of them are my favorite. I think it just depends on what your mood is that day or at that time of the day. Some people love their coffee still. They don't want to add saffron necessarily to their coffee or have another beverage in the morning. So they take the capsule and then maybe replace their second caffeinated beverage, whether it's like right after, or use the evening to have like a little ritual with the latte. So people can take them together, they can take them in lieu of each other, but it's just like a fun ritual to incorporate in your daily routine that helps you become more mindful. And with both of the products, what's incredible about saffron in general is you can feel the benefits almost immediately within 1 hour of consumption. And so the benefits are almost instant and cumulative. So
Mm.
almost like coffee, how you can drink coffee and start to feel the benefits really quickly, where you feel either you get jittery or you like get focused, whatever those, whatever you tend to feel with coffee, it's most people feel it right away, right? You take it daily, you want that feeling. Saffron's the same. It elevates your mood almost instantly. And they've found this out in the studies, that what was really incredible about it, even people who want to go on antidepressants and SSRIs, it takes about 6 weeks for their body to start to feel the effects of these SSRIs and medications. But with saffron, even if you're going to go on a medication, you can start to incorporate it to get those feel good benefits almost immediately. So the way that it works, saffron helps to heal your gut. So it's major anti-inflammatory. It helps to heal the gut lining where 90% of your serotonin is being made. And as a result, you feel a lot of relief if you have digestive issues and bloating and even things like irritable bowel syndrome. And then it optimizes your body's own ability to create serotonin and dopamine. Whereas with pharmaceuticals, you're doing a synthetic dump of a specific amount of serotonin. So that's what's so different about it. It almost acts as an adaptogen in the body to help people with what they need to be their optimal amount.
Which do you prefer personally? Do you prefer the capsules or the drink?
Yes. So I go back and forth or I incorporate both of them. I really liked an iced saffron latte, so I tend to really opt for that and it works in my climate. And so when it's cooler, I do an iced latte and um, I tend to just stick with that. When it's warmer, I like to go with the the capsules and like do matcha to help
Mm,
me when it's like more gloomy out and I kind of just want it. Even though when it's gloomy out, it's nice to have a latte. I feel like I get both benefits when I do the capsule and I get my little matcha in because I still love matcha.
mhm. And is it good for kids as well?
Yes. So my kids love it. I mean, my daughter's been taking it since both my kids, like since they were 6 months old. I started formulating it when I was postpartum with my son, my first child, and they love it. It's great for them. And in terms of clinically proving that it's great for children, they started doing studies on children 6 and up. So those are the actual clinical trials have been done on those ages, 6 and up, but it's very, very gentle. Even though it's so potent, it's very gentle and anyone can really experience the benefits. And it's okay for basically anyone unless you're pregnant.
Mm.
And
What
yeah,
about if people are on medication? Do they
yeah,
have
it
to take
doesn't
medication
counteract
first?
with, yeah, it's okay to take it while you're on medication.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, is there a good time of day to take it, or can you take it any time of day?
No, you can take it any time of day. So in the eve, it helps you sleep, but
Ah,
during the day, it lifts you up. So basically, what it's doing is it's calming down your nervous system so that when you're calm, you can focus optimally and you're just like in a better mood. And also, when you're calm and your nervous system is relaxed, you can sleep better. So it's actually helped people with this insomnia, even.
mm. And do you work directly with the farmers?
Yes. So I have an incredible relationship. I have a few suppliers now just because I have a big need because our business is growing. And originally, we only sourced from Afghanistan, farmers there. And we worked with someone here locally where I live, and she would work with them directly, and she gives back a percentage to the women that are harvesting the saffron. So it's a really beautiful, opportunity to give and receive. A lot of these women, this is the way that they can leave their husbands and have a way to take care of their families. So it feels really nice. I like to honor the women that are harvesting. And then I also now I'm getting it from Europe. The Saffron is in the capsules. The extract is from Spain. So that's grown and harvested and created in Spain. So we kind of have them coming from different regions, but um, yeah, it's really beautiful to be able to work with the farmers and the people that are importing it because there's a lot of counterfeit saffron that's happening in the world. So you really need to be careful, and the people, like, you really need to trust your source.
Yeah.
And I've been very blessed. I've been doing this for 5 years. It took me 5 years basically to get to a situation where I ended up, like, normally it happens in the beginning of people's business journey. I ended up when I started to really scale and have to find new suppliers recently was when I started running into like all the different things that you can run into with the issues with the
Right.
counterfeit and all that. I ended up not getting counterfeit, luckily, but just other things. So the Fullest, we follow good manufacturing practices when we make our products. So we do all sorts of testing for microbiology, we do identity testing. We really make sure that the product we're getting is the highest quality. And luckily, that helps us with quality control. And so I've run into all sorts of issues. But at the same time, I'm so grateful to be aware of that, because if I was just like a restaurant and I didn't have that quality control in place, I would have easily been using counterfeit saffron and black market saffron and not known about it.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I'm
Yeah.
really excited to try them, and thank you so much to you and your ancestors for bringing them to us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, your energy is so soft and gentle, and I feel so connected and aligned with you, and I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, thank you.
Grateful to be on this path with you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening. You can check out the products we've been talking about by visiting Raw Living, rawliving.co.uk. And if you haven't got an account already, then do sign up. You get £5 off your first order. And also, please do like, subscribe, and share this podcast. It really does help.